Good afternoon. Today on Customer States What? We're replacing rear backing plates, rear wheel bearings as a kit, and we're also replacing the rear e-brake cables in a 2007 Tundra. Let's get back there, guys. Let's give it a look. So we already got the rear diff draining. Car is set up in the air. Still got to get the wheels off. Don't look at those shocks. They might just start pissing on me due to the flavor of this vehicle. Ugh. So these backing plates, they're kind of strong. They're alright, but their right rear wheel bearing is growling away. So since they've never had wheel bearings replaced before or the backing plates replaced before, we're going to recommend the new service parts that come in a kit, and they're all updated parts as well. Something else they got going on is their e-brake cables are busted. So the e-brake barely, or parking brake, excuse me, barely holds. Look at that. So that's why. Also, flavor's definitely gotten to this vehicle. It's had a frame at one point in its life, but that bolt's gonna break. And that bolt's gonna break. So here we have the rotor and the caliper off, and I sprayed everything down with some PB Blaster. And not for nothing, guys, I'm worried. For two reasons. One, they're both being the same reason, but per side. This here wheel speed sensor right there, that ain't gonna come out. And I didn't write it up for wheel speed sensors. So I got everything here but that. So I'm foretelling the future right now, guys. I'm probably gonna be breaking both of those sensors to just get it out, or in attempts to get it out and save them. Yeah, man, the other side is not that better. Oh, there's the secondary air pumps. Other side, flavor's present and accounted for. That right there was a 10mm bolt, or excuse me, a 10mm nut, and I can't see any of the sides. It's round. What this is gonna be. Alright, there's the old one. There's the new one. All dressed on the axle. Here's the special tool to remove it from the hub. And now there's also a seal on the diff housing that you have to put in. And here's a tip, guys. If you do not have the special tool to install the seal, you could just use the old one to install it. Now the seal will bottom out, so you know when it's fully installed, but you just put that there and you tap around the old seal, and slowly and surely it's going to push in the new seal, and look at that, it's all installed. So I'm going to clean this edge up here. We're going to replace that O-ring with a brand new one. See how old that thing is looking? And then we're going to be ready for installation. Very good. Alright, area's cleaned. Brand new O-ring. O-ring is greased. We're all prepped, ready for installation of the axle. Oh yeah. Also, guys, there's a spacer, then there's this large ass collar, and then there's a C-clip. All which have been replaced. Do not forget those. Alright, guys, driver's rear. We got very lucky. We got the sensor out. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but we got it out in one piece. Hopefully, it'll be reading the wheel speed with no issues. We also got lucky to where this brake line broke free, because we have to remove it from here, undo it so we could take the brake line out. The passenger side though, makes me worry even more. You got it apart, but look at that brake line. Look at the flavor. Look at it. I'm worried. That sensor, that used to be 10 millimeters. It doesn't identify as anything anymore. It just identifies as rust. I think the passenger side is going to be worse, guys. I don't know. Don't look at the shock. Don't look at the shock. Alright. Well, we got really lucky with the brake line. I was able to just break it free, but then what I did was I had the caliper in one hand and I was turning it while keeping the hard brake line in one position, because the brake line itself and the fitting is seized. So we got that out. We reconnected it just so we're not pissing brake fluid. We got all the hardware out, so now it should just slip on out. Oh, yeah, we got a gap. We got a gap. Nothing else attached, right? All right, here we go. And here comes the shaft. Oh, boy. And we're out. Very good. And you know what? It's about 10 to 6. I'm going to call it a night. Very good. Alright guys, here's the passenger side. Will I get that sensor out? I don't know. And if I do in fact get it out, will it work after I'm done? Giggity. All over. Get up in there. Get up in there. Yeah. Alright, so I'm in the process of attempting to get this freaking sensor out. And I want you guys to notice something with this sensor. It's not exactly straight anymore. The reason why is the corrosion and rust that built up over time pushed the sensor up a little bit. And you can see how it's not fully covering the tone ring area. I'm probably going to need both sensors when I'm all said and done. Well, things are escalating. That sensor will not move, and I took out roughly 1/4 of an inch of rust between the sensor and the actual hub. So that's how much rust over time built up in between this sensor and the hub and pushed the sensor out. Eventually that would have caused not an SRS, a freaking wheel speed sensor code, and that would have been an ABS code. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying to save the code. Yeah, I am. You see what I'm doing over here, man? I'd rather just take this out and freaking... Where's the nut that was holding it? You gotta see this thing. Yeah, yeah. That nut don't exist anymore.
You gotta love those nuts.
It's nice and tapered. It looks like a cone. Oh, that would be awkward.
Yeah.
Alright guys, special tool is all installed. And now we just gotta go over to the press. And we're gonna press the axle out. A lot of pressure goes into this thing, man. And, first one, I was standing back a little bit as I was pulling that lever. But, yeah, let's get it done. Alright, we're all set up in the shop press. We got a little bit of tension on it. Special tools in place. We got that there to catch it. Alright, let's push her out. Safety goggles are on, guys. Oh, this is a lot of pressure. Scary pressure. There it goes. Like I said, scary pressure. it goes. Very good. Alright guys, we got the axle out. So now we get the bearing race out of there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a little slit there, and then we're just going to brap it with the air chisel to crack it, and then it should free up. Tried to do the Audi trick here, like try and walk it out, but it didn't work on the other one, so we got to cut it, brap it, take it out. So here it is. We got the slit right there, giggity, and we're gonna brap it with the air chisel, and it should crack it right there. All right, things are gonna get a little loud. Just gonna brap it. Hopefully it'll crack. Eye goggles are on. Good. It cracked, I believe. Let's see. Oh yeah. Now walk it out. 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 Has been walked. Alright guys, we took the special tool off, and there are two things in here. We have this large spacer here, and as you can see, this edge is tapered. Tapered faces away from the bearing. And then we have this little shim right here, which also has a little taper to it. The taper faces away from the bearing. This we have to reuse. This we do not. We also have to reuse these studs. So let's bang those studs out. Giggity. Now you always want to protect the tip of your stud, guys. So, and ladies. So what you do is you install a nut and make sure the threads are not over the nut. That way, when you go hit it, it's not going to damage the threads. And now, see, it is out. Threads are good, although we will take that to the wire wheel and clean it up. But yeah, let's get the other ones out. Alright, I want you to feel this, because this is how it's supposed to be, and you could feel threads here.
Yeah.
Feel that one?
Yeah.
Feel the difference?
Yeah.
See, if you hit this one, you're gonna mushroom the threads over and damage them, and then it's a bad day.
Yeah.
So just back that off a little bit. Make sure it's like a little concave.
Yeah.
And then just send it home with the hammer.
Almost like a bull.
Ow. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you one of my tricks to get these studs in. See how it's just like a wheel stud almost, or almost exactly, but facing the other way. What I do is I'll install a couple of washers here, and one of the nuts that I use to mount the special tool, I'll use that there, and then what I'll do is I'll tighten it. And you know when it's done, when it stops turning. And now our 4 studs are installed. Very good. Well, alright guys, e-brake's all adjusted. Rear wheel bearings have been replaced. Both e-brake cables have been replaced and properly adjusted. There's the second gear parts. This side here, looking good. Very good. Look at that. All new cables. We adjusted it properly here. Now what you guys do is you back this adjuster up all the way. If not, take it out. Install your cables. Put this just to where you get a little bit of tension. Then you adjust at the star adjuster at the rear wheels. Then you test your e-brake operation. and then you make your adjustments right here. Alright guys, if you don't know what to do, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for further content.